Hello dear learners, you are most welcome to our second lesson of fractions. In the previous lesson, we looked at the meaning of a fraction and how we reduce or how we simplify a fraction to its lowest term. And we also looked at the equivalent fractions. Otherwise, in case you missed that lesson, please, it is very paramount that you go to our playlist and watch right from the beginning such that we move smoothly together as we enjoy. I'm teacher Kato Ivan from WUNNA Educational Services. Let's continue. We have just looked at how we express a fraction in its simplest term. So it is very important that we look at how we reduce fractions to their simplest terms. So that's why we are having our big heading, reduction of fractions. We are told that the value of a fraction is unaltered if we divide the denominator and the numerator by the same number. We've seen that under equivalent fractions in our first lesson, whereby we said that in case a fraction has a common factor, then if we reduce the numerator and denominator by that common factor that it has, then the value of the fraction will not be tampered with. For instance, if we have 8 over 10, 8 has a common factor with 10, which is 2. So if we reduce 8 over 10 by the common factor 2, so that we get 4 over 5, then you realize that the value of the fraction has not changed, though the numerator and denominator have been reduced to their simplest terms, but the value of the fraction has not changed. What do we mean here? We mean that 8 over 10 is the same as 4 over 5. And the process of dividing the denominator and the numerator by the same number, which is in this case the common factor, is known as reducing the fraction to its lowest term or cancelling. Let's look at how it works in examples. Yes, that is our example 1, whereby we are supposed to reduce 144 over 180 to its lowest terms. If you look at the numerator and denominator, the two have common factors, as we shall see in our solutions. For instance, if we divide 144 by 4, we get 36. We are dividing 144 by 4. If please, I hope you have a calculator, you can try out. 144 by 4, we shall get 36. Then when we divide 180 by 4, we get 45. So that is, we are reducing by 4 at first. but our new fraction, which is 36 over 45, still has a common factor, which is 9. So if we divide 36 by 9, we shall get 4. If we divide 45 by 9, we shall get 5. Meaning that our final answer, when we reduce 144 out of 180, is 4 over 5. So 4 over 5 is the simplest way we can write 144 over 180. Please, if you have a calculator, I want you to try out dividing 144 by 180 and also divide 4 by 5. You must have the same answer. Remember, we were told that when reducing a fraction, we consider the common factors of the numerator and denominator. And when we cancel those numerators and denominators, we shall get a simplified fraction, a fraction in its lowest terms, just like you see 4 over 5. 4 over 5 is the lowest or smallest fraction after reducing 144 over 180. And therefore 144 over 180 is equivalent to 4 over 5. Meaning, if you divide the two, or the value of the two fractions must be equal. If you have a calculator, you can try it out. So that is how we reduce fractions to their lowest terms. It is just identifying the common factors and then reduce them by those common factors. Now, if you look at still our first example, we have reduced 144 over 180 in 2 stages. We first reduced it by 4 to get 36 over 45. Then still we reduced 36 over 45 by 9 to get 4 over 5. So meaning we had 2 factors or 2 stages of reduction. But someone can also just reduce by 1 bigger common factor or 1 highest common factor. How do we get that 1 highest common factor? We shall just multiply the divisors. That was 4 and 9. If you multiply 4 and 9, you get 36. And now I want you to try out. You divide 144 by 36, you must get 4. And if you divide 180 by 36, you must get 5. But it is very important to go through these steps because it is somehow disturbing and tricky to identify that 1 highest common factor at once, unless you are very good at mathematics. It's okay if you can do that, but where it is a bit hard, we can start with the simpler common factors. We can even start by 2 like that until we reduce to its lowest common terms. So let us look at our second example. That is, they want us to express 7 over 16 with a denominator of 48. When they say denominator, that is, they want us to change 16 to 48. Now, how are we doing that? How can we change 16 to 48? If you want to get the answer, then divide what they want us to get by what we currently have. If we divide 48 by 16, what do you get? Then after getting that value is what we shall multiply down by the denominator and up by the numerator to get our new fraction that will have 48 as its denominator. Let's see how it was done in our solution to that example 2. Yes, we are told that the new denominator 48 is 3 times the original one, which is 16. How did we get that 3? Remember I told you that get what they want us to get divided by what we currently have. So if you divide 48 by 16, you get 3. That means that the 3 will multiply the numerator and the denominator. So after getting how many times is the new denominator multiplying the old denominator, which is 3 times, now that 3 will be our common factor. So we shall multiply the numerator by 3 to get 21, and we multiply 16 by 3 to get 48. So meaning that 7 over 6 is the simplified fraction or form of 21 over 48. They are the same. In other words, the two fractions are equivalent because they have the same value, though one is simplified to its lowest terms, whereas the other one contains common factor. So that is how we shall handle such cases. And now the idea of equivalent fractions can also be applied in comparing of fractions. Comparing of fractions means that we shall look at which one is the biggest, which one is the smallest, or arranging the given fractions in a given order, either ascending or descending. We use the idea of equivalent fractions to arrange or rearrange fractions in a given order of either ascending or descending. So in our next lesson, let us look at how do we rearrange fractions in order by applying the idea of equivalent fractions. Please, if you want to continue enjoying our lessons, do one thing: subscribe and hit the bell, such that whenever we upload a lesson, you don't miss. Otherwise, I'm teacher Ivan from WUNNA Educational Services. WUNNA Educational Services has handles or has accounts in all social media platforms where we share academic content. We also have a website by the names of WUNNA Digital Library, where you will go and enjoy our bank of academic resources. Please, let's meet for the next lesson as we look at how we compare fractions. Bye bye. Meet you again.